All right, I think we're good to go ahead and get started. Thank you for everyone for being here in person as well as in Zoom. Today we have a special day. We're going to collab with WIT and classes together. So we're excited to talk about more about imposter syndrome and how that could really be prevalent. And so we're going to talk about some things we could do and some activities for us to be able to go ahead and fight that. So
Yeah.
Ali, I think if you're ready, you could take it away.
Okay, cool. So first we're gonna get into some announcements. Oh, that's just moving this one.
Just press the arrow.
There we go. Okay. First thing we need to plug is Women in Tech's Big and Little Mentorship Program. If you guys are familiar with sororities, we have bigs and littles. So we're doing something similar to that. It's a peer-to-peer mentorship program. Matches are based on related majors and interests. Anyone can sign up. If you want to be a mentor, you can sign up. If you want to be a mentee, you can sign up. And it's free for all members. The sign-up form is right there. If you're interested in participating, please scan it and fill it out. And I'm going to give about 5 seconds for that to happen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, moving on. Join the WIT and FAST Discords. If you are from FAST and you're not in the WIT Discord, you should totally join. Even if you are a man, we are open to men. And you guys get put in a man group chat, just saying. It might make you do stuff, but that's okay. And if you are from WIT and you're interested in joining FAST, they do a lot of really cool stuff. Do you want to plug your club a little bit, Brad?
Yeah, I think most of our applications for the different events or different groups that we have start in the beginning of the semester. But either way, we have a lot of subgroups where we do a lot of cool different projects right now. One of our biggest groups too are the competitive teams. And so we have some teams dedicated to working and practicing towards competition, especially towards NCL, which I believe is happening very, very soon. So if you're interested in joining next year and being able to get some activities going with that, highly recommend joining the FAST Discord to be a part of everything we have to offer.
Yeah. So, FAST has a lot of research teams. I know some of the WIT girlies might be familiar with the competition teams, but FAST has a lot of research teams as well. So that's a really good opportunity to get involved. This one?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. There's 2 computers here. It's going to take a second. Okay. What is imposter syndrome? Woo. So we have a little baby project. If you guys could go ahead and scan that QR code, we're going to answer the question, where have you experienced imposter syndrome? All the answers are completely anonymous, so we don't see who says what. So go ahead and share your thoughts and your experiences under the little protection of anonymity. And then initial it. Pretty sure it's anonymous. Anyways, that's my phone.
think we'll wait a couple more minutes for people to put in some more entries, but yeah, definitely come from the same place with a lot of these answers here.
Can I have a link to this? Or can you go back to the slide with the link because I was typing a message to someone else on my other screen?
The Discord?
Or no, to this,
Oh,
to the form where to put this in.
I thought I did.
Oh. Oh, it's in the chat. I didn't see that. I did not see that. Okay, no, it's not in the chat.
It's he's pulling it up right now. There you go.
Just share, right? Let me know if that works.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Sweet.
Okay. Got like 1 more minute to go ahead and answer this question.
I think most people feel imposter syndrome in the classroom.
Yeah.
The class where you have the most imposter syndrome.
Really? I feel like classes where I have like people I know in it. Like if I don't have anyone I know, it's harder. But when I have people I know, and I'm like, oh, like I compare myself to them. But it's harder for me to compare myself to people I don't know.
Yeah, I mostly compare myself to like friends or people in like different projects and stuff like that because I know what they do and I know that they're able to do things. And you start comparing yourself, it gets really hard. So working on keyboard, interesting.
That's so real.
I think we're ready to move on.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm sure you guys are reading each other's answers and seeing what everyone's saying. We've all experienced imposter syndrome at some point or another, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's in our clubs, whether it's with our friends or at work. So we're gonna move back to the slides and talk about that a little bit more. Okay.
Slideshow.
The fact that there's like two is tripping me out because they show the exact same thing. Okay, so what is imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome is the condition of feeling anxious and not experiencing the success that you experience externally, internally. This condition often results in people feeling self-doubt and questioning their own accomplishments. It's kind of that feeling of like you're never good enough, even if you have external milestones that kind of validate that you're doing well, you don't feel it for yourself. What it can kind of look like, it's sabotaging self-success, a consistent fear of failure, considering successes and achievements as not yours, i.e. outside factors are undermining your own self and your own like tech or skills. Phrases like, I don't feel like I can do it, or I'm not good as they think I am. Does that sound like any of you guys?
Right.
Yeah, all of us. Okay. Okay, so we're going to discuss all about imposter syndrome. All of us have clearly experienced imposter syndrome in different ways. We're going to talk about it in our own little groups. I'm going to force you guys to interact though, because y'all are over here and you guys are over here. So respectfully, ladies, stand up and move. What helps you overcome imposter syndrome? What was the best support you've ever gotten? And how has imposter syndrome affected your decisions? Are there things you wish you could have done differently if you do not feel this way? We do breakout rooms.
I want to see if we can. I've never done breakout rooms.
Brad's gonna set up breakout
but I
rooms
don't know.
for the Zoom people.
Okay.
If y'all don't talk, I'm gonna come fight you. Stand up. That's so
I think we could create.
You know.
Uh, No, let's try and do this. I don't know if you guys would be able to see the screen sheet, the shared screen here. But the three questions we have are: what helps you overcome imposter syndrome? What is the best support you've gotten? And how has imposter syndrome affected your decisions? Are there things you could have done differently if you had not felt this way? So you guys could either write it down and just kind of vaguely remember them so that when you guys go to your breakout rooms, you guys will able to be, you guys can go
Over
and
here.
talk about them.
Splitting up fast, kind of.
Damn,
Sorry.
let's see.
You talk. Okay.
Sorry, give me 1 second here.
I think I kind of talked to my classmates about me and I just realized that everyone's not more scared than you.
Trying to create, no way, let's see if this works.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Hey Brad, could you just think a little more that way? So answer the question.
Oh, sorry.
What is the best support you've received?
Okay, cool. So the best support I've ever gotten, so I kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about like kind of meeting my mentors. You have a lot of resources like meeting with volunteer like certain conferences or doing certain TTFs, and I feel like that's what helped me out a lot because like I was saying before, other resources they did to get to where they're at right now.
Yeah.
And it's kind of nice having something
Try to
like
take myself away from
like
the
wants to use it.
super technically qualified environment and just
I mean, it's
connect
similar
with
to
people
what
that
I'm saying,
friends with.
we're more experienced.
Because like they need to have
Oh, yeah, yeah.
at least I can talk
Gotta get it
more
right,
confident
so.
about it. I can be more myself, I don't have to be so professional all the time. I don't know if that's a good idea, but it helps me.
Because I was meant to say, so it has to. Yeah, it's okay, I do too.
So
The best.
a lot of those events are really good for at least
Okay, we are going to start wrapping things up. Breakout rooms are gonna start closing. Can they hear my voice in their rooms?
I don't think so.
I know there's a way to do that. I don't know how to do that. There is a way to do it.
Yeah. Probably better. I don't know if there's like a.
For y'all, that's fine.
Give it a second.
I see real.
Okay.
All the asking are gonna do tonight. We should do it.
Yay, you're all close. Okay, everyone is back. Welcome back to the main room. We are moving on. How do we overcome imposter syndrome? Lock in.
You gotta find out how to solve imposter syndrome.
Yeah, God, guys, we're gonna sell you the solution to all of your problems. No, I'm kidding.
Sell me?
Yeah, we're selling
It's magic pill. Give me the magic pill.
Magic
the magic pill. Yeah. Here's your
Where's the button I press?
Okay, how do we overcome imposter syndrome? Woo. Okay, there's a few different things we can do. Identify your insecurities and your limiting beliefs. These are the things that tell you not to do things that you would otherwise do if you were confident and believed in yourself as much as like you could in a perfect world. Challenge your cognitive distortions. Again, the little voice in your head that's telling you you can't do things that you can do. Avoid comparing yourself to other people. That is a really hard one. We all fall victim to it. But try not to. Reframe negative thoughts, acknowledge your accomplishments and your own strengths, practice positive affirmations, visualize success, seek support, and be kind to yourself. There we go. Okay, we have another activity. Okay, for those of you who are here in person, we have pens and papers. For those of you that are at home, grab your own pen and paper. You want to present the activity?
Yeah, sure. So this activity is going to be just like a journaling activity where we write down some beliefs that frame us in a negative light, and then we kind of really give us yourself some time to think about them and to really challenge those beliefs. So we're gonna pass some pens and pens and paper for people in person here. But if you're at home, you can either use your own pen and paper or even just like a Google Doc might work. So we'll go ahead and wait for. You don't have to. I don't know if you're comfortable with sharing. You can definitely share them, but if not, this is the definitely just for you as well. So feel free to just really be honest with yourself and to really challenge the beliefs that you have to really so that we can really tackle imposter syndrome and the feelings that we so
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are not pressured to share this with each other. This is a little thing for yourself. If you want to share, you can, but you're not going to be forced to. And if you have questions on what this kind of looks like, or if you don't quite understand, feel free to ask.
So I think the structure itself isn't going to be too strict, but with number 2 here, identify the cause. Oh, I guess you could jot down some bullet points for number 1 of some things you might believe on yourself or things you might say about yourself that is in like a negative light. I know some really simple examples are like, oh, I can't do blank. I'm not blank. I'm not good enough to do whatever. So if you could put like 3 to 5 maybe bullet points for things that you might tell yourself. We're gonna use those as like a we're gonna use those examples to really highlight why we give ourselves these negative messages and then to be able to counter them with positive affirmations so that we really ground ourselves in what's actually true compared to what we try to tell ourselves in our minds.
Yeah.
So take some time to do that.
And if you are like really entrenched in whatever this belief is about yourself, honestly, the positive affirmation that like goes against it is probably going to feel really phony when you write it down. You're going to feel some resistance to it. That's just part of the process, guys. Eventually, if you keep saying it to yourself, you're going to start believing it. So, open this pen. Real.
You can open this.
You can.
Actually. Or maybe we can.
Wait, actually, like, why is that pen so stuck on?
Use like
Try it.
results.
Did you do it?
I twisted. So,
You twisted. It was not twisted. Thank you. Do any of you guys have a Band-Aid?
Do you have a Band-Aid?
Yeah.
I don't. Are you bleeding? What's
I
that?
hit the dust.
I am
And it like
not
scrapes
for-
the skin.
I
Dust already. Sing the school. Sing the damn.
So with the next step that we have here, after you write down some bullet points,
helping her out.
really take some time to identify the roots of these problems. Usually they come from a specific moment in the past or some kind of interaction that made you think this way in the first place. So really understanding the root and cause of this problem could really help us understand why we give ourselves these negative messages.
What are, like if someone's like told you that, oh, it's like, yeah. Or like even it's like, oh. Here's my question.
Figuring out the source will help us sort of deconstruct why we hold these negative messages in such like a truthful way to ourselves. And once we figure out why, where and why that sort of happens, we could slowly start to deconstruct, thank you. The messages that we have. Take a couple more minutes to do that. And then in like 2 minutes, we'll talk about how we could go ahead and create positive affirmations and start challenging the beliefs that we believe.
Okay, guys. We are gonna work on step 3 a little bit together and give you guys an example of how to transform your limiting beliefs into a positive affirmation. So to do that, I'm kind of gonna give an example and share about like my stuff. Anyone can share if they want to, but they don't have to. So for my like belief that I have where I frame myself in a negative light is that I'm not a good enough leader or other leaders are better than me. While I've not heard specific like messaging for that like specific instance, like growing up, like this is gonna get like a little trauma dumpy, I'm sorry. Growing up, like I was not ever good enough achievement wise for my parents, so that kind of just like transfers into everything I do. So when I'm trying to work on a positive affirmation to kind of counteract that, I'm gonna choose stuff that I specifically feel are weak points as like good enough leader. So my positive affirmation is I am a strong and effective leader. Does anyone else need help making an affirmation for their case? No? Everyone good? Did everyone already create an affirmation? Raise your hand if you created your affirmation. Does anyone want to share their affirmation, no context? No? No?
Sure, man.
Okay, Brad's gonna share his. Thank you, Brad.
So, I guess 2 affirmations I have. One, I guess we'll start with one. So, the first affirmation is that time itself, like as long as I put enough time in something, that will slowly build into effort and change. I feel like a lot of times I'm working a lot of things, but I feel like it's not enough to like be good enough or enough to actually make a difference. But I want to definitely try and tell myself that as long as I'm working on something and I'm putting time and effort, that will slowly build into something bigger. And I think part of that is also realizing, or at least or taking a step back and looking at like your entire college career and seeing how much you have grown and how much time I have put into things, and seeing where I am now versus where I was really plays a big role in looking at it from the big picture instead of, I guess, a single project or activity and such. And the second one is similar, of like small wins. So if you're able to complete something or have something done, I think a big part of imposter syndrome is like kind of setting that aside. So trying to really acknowledge that you were able to do something helps counter that belief that you have that you might not be able to do something technical, or you're not good enough to do something technical.
So what's your affirmation?
I wrote like words. I guess. I'm able to be technical because I put in the time to do things, time and energy to get things done. So
Okay.
I think that would be something.
Yay, Brad! Woo! Yay, you guys, for coming up with affirmations. Okay. And we have one more activity.
So can I throw one out there?
Huh? Yeah, you can.
Yeah, so mine, no context, is something along the lines of I can't always be perfect, but I'm learning so that I can get these things or do better on these things later on
That's
and know it
facts.
very well later on.
Learning is okay. Not being perfect is okay.
Mhm.
That was a good one. Good job, Matthew.
Thank you.
Does anyone else want to share before we move on to the next activity?
Want to share? Yeah.
You want to share?
No.
Are you just volunteering it? This is a safe space.
I'll bet.
Okay, our next activity is visualizing success. So if you guys could flip over your paper to the back. There are people and ideals that we look up to that define success to us. What does success mean to you? What does the most successful version of yourself look like? So we're gonna make 2 columns, journal as openly and honestly as possible. Column A is where you're gonna imagine yourself as the most successful you possible. What does he or she do? How does he or she act? What does he or she think about themselves? Column B, you're gonna reflect on your goal you and your present you, and what are steps that you can take to get closer to where your goal you is, academically, mentally, career-wise. Journal. Anything you wanna add?
Yeah, I think just also making sure that we're kind of looking at it from a realistic standpoint too. Again, I think imposter syndrome is rooted from a place of wanting to be perfect, which is not ideal or it's not possible. And I think it could definitely be unhealthy in a way. So I think when we're thinking about our most successful self, we should definitely understand we're not going to be perfect, but we're going to be the more important part is being at a level that we are satisfied with, or place where we know that we're doing good enough and good things. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So just keeping that in mind. All right, hopefully that was enough time to be able to complete the activity. Is there anything else you want to say before we kind of move on? I don't know. I don't really have anything too much.
Okay, does anyone feel comfortable sharing their their work on this activity? If not, we can go ahead and move on.
I think we can move
Yeah, we can move on. Okay. Okay, again, as we wrap up, because we're about to hit time, join the WIT and FAST Discords. We hope that this was a fun activity for you guys. We hope that this was a good workshop and you guys got to walk away with some advice on how to tackle imposter syndrome, or at least maybe feeling less alone, considering most of your peers have experienced it too. And yeah, thank you for coming. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Shut it fast is cool.
I'll write that. We're gonna close the Zoom, so thank you guys for showing up, and I'll hope to see you guys soon. Oh, and one more quick announcement. I believe WIT is having a workshop this Thursday.
Yes, WIT is having a workshop this Thursday. We're gonna be covering different tech DIY projects, like for different majors, how to get your start. If you don't have anything that you can do with me right now, you can do DIY projects, and we're gonna cover a bunch of ideas. Pull up if you guys want to. People can fast, we'd love to see you there. Other than that, see you guys later.